I welcome everyone who joined us in watching this video. Imagine the late 19th century San Francisco, a gold rush city that smells of the sea and freedom. It was here on August 6, 1875, that a boy named Edward Alfred Cucuel was born into the family of a German newspaper publisher. His father, a German newspaper publisher, could hardly have imagined that his son would choose brushes instead of a printing press. As a teenager, at the age of 14, he entered the San Francisco School of Design, and at the same time, he was already creating illustrations for the Examiner newspaper. His lines were confident, his strokes were vivid. It wasn't just talent, it was a real thirst to see and convey the world. And at the age of 17, Edward took a step that would change his entire life. He went to Paris, a city that attracted artists like a magnet. Here, among the academies, models, smoke of cafes, and lights of exhibitions, the young man studied at three prestigious institutions at once: the Julian Academy, the Colarossi Academy, and the School of Fine Arts, where his mentor was Jean-Léon Gérôme himself, a renowned academic whose exactingness and precision made many students great masters. But Paris is not only about academia. Here the young artist inhaled the aroma of Montmartre's coffee shops, where the Impressionists were already making a splash. Was it not in this contradiction between classics and freedom that his unique style was born? After several years of intense study, he returned to the United States. In 1896, he worked as an illustrator in New York, plunging back into the world of newspapers and reportage graphics. But Paris left a mark in his soul that would not disappear. He returns to Europe again, this time to dive deeper into the legacy of the old masters. Studying their works, he searched for his own path. But where would he find it? Perhaps in Germany, where fate took him in 1899 and where he opened a new page in his life. Let me remind you that this video will provide links to the artist's candid female portraits in the form of QR codes, by clicking on which you can see the paintings that YouTube's policy prohibits broadcasting. That is, if you see a QR code, scan it, follow the link, and enjoy these artistic masterpieces. This paragraph is just the beginning of the story. And then I invite everyone to find out how youthful dreams intertwined with the stormy winds of history. After years of traveling and studying, Edward Cucuel found himself in a new point of cultural intersection, Berlin, 1899. In the capital of Kaiser's Germany, he began working as an illustrator for newspapers and magazines. His first years in Germany were years of experimentation. He draws caricatures for Berlin newspapers, but his heart beats more often in museums, where he studies Rembrandt and German expressionists. On the one hand, the precision of the classics; on the other, the emotional storm of his contemporaries. And it was at this time, at the turn of the century, that he met Leo Putze, a genius of color who became his mentor and friend. In 1907, Cucuel moved to Munich, where he joined the creative group Die Scholle, a community of artists who opposed academicism with a new living language of art. Leo Putze not only introduces him to the world of German Expressionism, but also becomes his friend, mentor, and guide to painting in the open air and plein air. Together they spend the summer on the lakes of Bavaria, in particular near Lake Chiemsee, where they work together in the open air. Women, flowers, boats, water reflections, shadows from trees, everything breathes freedom. It was here that Cucuel finally and completely turned to painting. He finds his voice between French Impressionism and German sensuality. In 1912, he exhibited his works in Paris, and the following year, he was accepted into the Société Nationale de Beaux-Arts and participated in the Paris Autumn Salon. The world recognizes his new language. His works are compared to Monet and Renoir, but they also notice something deeper, an individual view that combines the precision of an illustrator with the emotion of an artist. In the same year, 1913, he married Clara Lotte von Marquard, a friend of the Putze family. She is not only his lover and source of inspiration, but also a model who appears in many of his paintings. From that moment on, his art becomes even warmer and more intimate. If you like to reveal the secrets of artists, subscribe, like, and write about who you want to learn about next. Your opinion is our best guide. In 1914, as the world was plunging into the darkness of the First World War, Alfred Cucuel found his peace in the village of Holthausen, on the shores of Lake Chiemsee near Munich. It was here that Alfred Cucuel found his muse, young women in white dresses laughing among the flowers or playing in boats. He also set up studios here, first in Munich, then in Starnberg, his father's small homeland. And although the world outside the lake is engulfed in war, Cucuel's paintings show silence, beauty, and pure light. For 25 years, he created his idyllic scenes here, where each brushstroke is a memory of the serenity that the 20th century rarely gave. But the artist's life was not limited to Germany. He continues to travel as he always did. As early as 1904, after reporting on the World's Fair in St. Louis, he visited Japan with its sakura trees, China with its lanterns, Sri Lanka with its spice aromas. These exotic colors taught him to see nature through the prism of light. And even in Paris, where he returned after the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, he carried these impressions with him like a palette of 1,000 pigments. In the 1920s and 30s, Cucuel spent winters in New York and summers in Bavaria. His works are exhibited in leading galleries in the United States and Europe. In 1921, he had a large group exhibition at the Howard Young Gallery, and the following year, he had exhibitions at the Grosvenor Gallery in London, the Walker Galleries in Liverpool, and the museum in Birkenhead, where his picnic is still on display. 1939, the clouds are gathering over Europe again. World War II. Cucuel, who has long divided his life between Germany and the United States, decides to leave Munich forever. His last port of call is Pasadena, where the California sun shines on him for the rest of his life. Here he does not stop painting. His paintings remain as bright as ever, full of harmony and love of life. Edward Alfred Cucuel's work is a bridge between two continents, between academic precision and impressionistic breadth, between memory and the moment. Although he was born in the United States, his soul, as well as his brush, found their place in Europe. He was not a scene-setting avant-garde artist, but his combination of Impressionism and German expression became a bridge between the two worlds. His women are not just models, but symbols of eternal beauty surrounded by nature. His works are kept in the most prestigious museums in the world: the Art Institute of Chicago, the National Academy in New York, the Carnegie Museum in Pittsburgh, the Toronto Museum, the Detroit Museum of Art. These are just some of the places where you can see Cucuel's world today. During his lifetime, he was popular in both Europe and America. His works were exhibited in Paris, London, Amsterdam, New York, and Chicago. His paintings were bought and admired. But even after his death in 1954 in Pasadena, his name was not forgotten. On the contrary, every year more and more connoisseurs discover this quiet power of painting. He is called a master of light, a poet of the female presence in nature, a messenger of serenity in a turbulent time. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to like and leave a comment. Your opinion is very important for the development of the channel and the improvement of the content. Thank you for your support. Together we make art closer